And we're back.
Oh yeah, we're back. Surprisingly, surprisingly, we were down to 15 seconds.
You are on point with your timing.
Yeah,
sir.
I'm looking at the clock going, well, I think it should be done, but oh crap. So we are back. This is second part. Hello everyone.
Part 2.
Yes, we were just talking about Age of Ultron, which looks to be like an awesome film with a lot of explosions, a lot of action, and a lot of heart too, from the characters. We get to see deeper into these characters in a darker way because it seems to be going down this darker road, and they just released a clip, well, I don't know if it was more of a leaked clip of, I believe, the next Captain America. It's with Tony Stark.
Oh yeah, when he rips that
Captain
log
America.
just in half.
Yeah.
That's Civil War. Yeah.
And I know Civil War, Civil War started off, in the comic books, to me, it started off really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of slowed down in the middle, and kind of dropped off at the very end, and then of course Captain America got killed. Spoilers for anybody who doesn't know.
Like 8 years later.
Yeah, 8 years later, but no, I think I wonder if they're gonna try to go a little bit different route with the Civil War because they are. I won't say they're rushing it because this is like the Ultimate Universe, unlike the 616 universe of Marvel. So I want to see what they're going to do with this Civil War, and if it's going to involve a lot of other superheroes. They can't involve the Fantastic Four, because that's still Fox. And I'm sorry to say, well, I'm not really sorry. I think the Fantastic Four movie is going to be a travesty. In my opinion.
And the other two weren't?
This is going to be even more travesty. Did you hear what Doom is going to be?
No.
He's going to be an antisocial hacker. His name is not even Doom. That's like his, I believe that's like his internet name. Yeah.
I'm just going to let that silence ride
and
it
this
out.
is the actor actually saying, talking in an interview about that. And you should have seen the comments after that of people just angry that are huge Doctor Doom fans that have loved the character even though he's a villain.
Doom was the only thing that was right about the movies. I will say that. Casting-wise, I was happy with, I don't know, I forget his name, but he was Christian and Nip Tuck.
Yeah, but he always
awesome.
outshined everybody.
Okay.
And I like Ian Graffoud a lot. I watch him now on this show on ABC called Forever. And he's a really good actor. I like Michael Chiklis, and this was like one of the early days of Chris Evans, who's now Captain America. But wow, every time Doctor Doom showed up, he kind of like showed up everybody. Even when he wasn't in Doctor Doom form, he just showed up everybody in his acting. Some of it was slightly over the top, but he still outdid a lot.
Doom is over the top.
Yeah.
He's over himself. No, he's not over himself.
But no, just hearing what the new incarnation of it was, even the actors and the director said they didn't follow anything from the comic book. They actually told the people, we're not going to read the comic books for reference.
So if that's the case, then Doctor Doom isn't really Doctor Doom. He can come back to Marvel, right?
This is what they're hoping, because Marvel literally, I don't want to put words in Marvel's mouth right now, but they canceled the Fantastic Four series.
Yes, they did.
And rumor has it they did it because they're not happy with this adaptation of Fantastic Four. They don't want anything to do with it. They don't want to give them promotional material for them to come out. Oh yes, here's some Fantastic Four books for everybody. This is what the movie is, and people go in the movie going, "This is not the Fantastic Four."
Same thing with X-Men. Like X Factor just got axed after, not even a year, or they've been out for like a year. The all new X Factor when it launched. So I was pretty bummed about that. But yeah, same thing. X Factor or X-Men titles. Fantastic Four.
I like of the First Class and Days of Future Past. I think Days of Future Past was trying to erase everything that Wolverine Origins and X-Men 3 did to the franchise, because it almost destroyed the X-Men franchise. And I mean, not financially, because they made a lot of money, but people walked out of that theater just angry. I was literally walking out of the theater with people behind me cussing up a storm.
Yeah.
Turn around and it's just like these young kids. I'm like, oh, they did not like this movie. But the X-Men franchise, I wish that like Fox and Sony could share with Marvel, even though they're licensing it out from Marvel. I wish they could share with Marvel, because I know the fans would love to see crossovers of these characters that are connected to these universes that right now the events going on in Marvel or the MCU connect to Spider-Man, connect to the Fantastic Four, connect to all these other things, and I'm glad they actually got back Punisher and Ghost Rider, and so many others. That, you know, Daredevil's coming out with a show on Netflix. Sort of the Man Without Fear costume. Like before he had the red costume, he had this black, like it almost looked like a black ninja costume. And a lot of people that are not big Daredevil fans are like, that's not the red costume. And I'm like, you haven't read the earlier Daredevils, or especially the Frank Miller Man Without Fear comic book. So Marvel is really taking a chance by throwing out all these, you know, other characters, and then having it, like, whatever happens in those universes crosses over to television, crosses over to film, and everything. And Sony and Fox just don't want to play that game.
And why would they? It's a cash cow. They're never going to let go. And that's the reality of it. Sony's hinting at, oh, we might give Spider-Man back to you, and that's another thing that is going to impede what happens in Civil War, because the big issue with that whole story was masks, and it was about identities.
Exactly.
No one in the Avengers has a mask.
Yeah, we all know who everybody is.
We know everybody. It's very public, so I'm thinking that the direction Civil War will take, which will make sense for the MCU, and I think it's palatable enough for Marvel fans, is to be a S.H.I.E.L.D. or other type recognition. Like, if you're not with S.H.I.E.L.D., then you're with whoever. Even if you're just doing your own thing, they could hint at, like, some Heroes for Hire stuff, but it's like, if you're not with us, then you're kind of against us.
So you're like terrorists. So like what they're doing with Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, Hydra is technically been cast out as a terrorist organization, even though they have been protecting the public. You know, now they're protecting them against Hydra.
Right. That's the way that I think it would make sense for it to go, since we have no identities that are concealed thus far.
Exactly, which will be interesting when they introduce the Inhumans, which is, you know, for big comic book fans out there that read comic books, they know who the Inhumans are. But for regular movie-going, you know, people, they'll be scratching their head like, who the heck are the Inhumans?
They said the same thing about Guardians, and
oh yeah, that's true.
A huge success. It's all about great storytelling. It doesn't matter if, oh, I've seen this character on a lunchbox, so therefore it's familiar and it will be a good story. Wrong. Spider-Man 2, case in point. Bad movie, but everybody knows Spider-Man. If you have a great story, even if they're not familiar with the characters, you make them familiar and they become fan favorites.
Exactly. Really, really good marketing too. You know, they really marketed Rocket Raccoon and Groot almost to be the face of Guardians of the Galaxy for people who had no idea, have never read the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, who doesn't want to see a talking raccoon in a giant tree?
Pocahontas. It's been done.
It's been done. It's been a T-shirt too.
Grandmother Willow, Miko. I have the shirt.
I need to get that shirt.
It's a wonderful shirt. I love it.
Do you know where people can get that shirt?
Oh, if I could think, I don't know, but we can post it in the comments, and I can look on my interwebs and find out.
Okay. All right. So moving on from films, because we've been talking a little bit about Marvel.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Do you play games, video games?
I'm more of a classic gamer. Modern games are very limited. I feel like they kind of repeat.
So, in the way of classic games?
Classic games, mostly classic Nintendo. For modern games, the last modern game that I've really been playing was Skyrim, which I still enjoy. There's so much to do in it.
Oh yeah, and do you have it on a PC or do you have it on like?
PS3.
Okay, PS3.
PS3.
Because you can mod it like crazy if you have it on PS or a PC.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, my friend, I was at his house and he did. What was it? There's so many that you can put in there. Was it Thomas the Train? Which is weird, seeing that thing follow you around. Yeah,
I wouldn't want that. I would feel like I'd rather have, you know, wolves eat me. Something crazy happen.
Those dire wolves.
Dire wolves. No. Oh, sad. Poor wolves.
Game of Thrones.
Poor wolves.
Game of Thrones reference.
Everybody dies.
Exactly.
Even the dogs. But yeah, so that would be probably the last one, and then Zelda games. But, I mean, that's one that I've been following. That's That's
So you're
classic and then modern.
So you're an RPG person.
Yes.
So no FPSs, no fighting games.
Yeah, there's some fighting games. Marvel vs. Capcom, obviously, Street Fighter.
I can see you have Storm on there that you play.
Yeah. Yeah, so Storm, Psylocke, yeah. Everybody that I am. This goes back to your question. You're like, who are you? I'm like, I am everyone. Everyone I pick to be. And then the Batman, like the Arkham franchise. Asylum, the City, and then, what is it? Origins. That's the last one.
Now,
not so good.
Exactly. Now, on the back to the whole cosplay thing. Do you do crossplay or gender bending cosplays?
Yes, I have two technically. I have Havoc from X-Men. I did a female version of his modern, like uncanny suit, and a female frost giant, because we never see what the females look like when Thor goes to Jotunheim in the movie. I kind of did my...
There's got to be females.
Yeah, I was like, there's a ton of people here. You know, it can't be a whole, like, you know, planet of Papa Smurfs and only one Smurfette.
Yeah, because that would just be weird.
It would. Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Well, it also doesn't make sense that you don't see any... Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense that you don't see any females unless they are trained female frost giants, unless the females are left behind to care for the children, because we know there are children.
Yeah.
So... Yeah.
And they get taken away.
Maybe just the males are just sent out to fight.
Yeah, but they seem like a race of beings that is very brute-oriented, so I don't think they would be that...
Well, sort of like Spartans, where the men and women are trained to fight?
Yeah, and like Vikings. Like, I do watch the show Vikings.
Oh, that is a good show.
So, like, I feel like they would be, like, shield maidens of sorts. I don't think they would just be sitting at home knitting ice sweaters.
Yeah, I was almost speaking of Vikings. The woman, I forgot her name, in the show Vikings. A lot of people want her to play Carol Danvers in Captain Marvel.
I second that. I do.
Somebody put I think they photoshopped her head onto Carol Danvers, her new costume, not her old lightning bolt black.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, not Miss Marvel.
Yeah, not Miss Marvel.
Right. Yeah, I think for casting, it's a great pick, and I think for her abilities and just for her savoir-faire, it works. So, I'm behind it. I support it.
I'm more in the area of probably... I always call her Cara Thrace. Battlestar Galactica. I keep forgetting her name all of a sudden. It was on the tip of my tongue. But she played Cara Thrace. She played Starbuck.
Okay.
And
I can see it.
Yeah, she has a rough and tough attitude, and
right.
She can really get down and dirty. She does the action. She knows how to do that. So we've seen her do that. She was in a recent show called Longmire. So we can also see that she can grow her hair out long.
It's true. It can be done.
It can be done.
Either way, I'll be happy. As long as the movie is being made, I'm happy. And I trust Marvel with casting, because that's one thing that they always hit it out of the park with. Yeah,
and that will be their first female, all-female, you know, as a front runner to any other female films. I was really hoping that Black Widow would have been the first.
Which would have made sense, but in a way, I like that she's a long-standing support. Because we've seen just little, like, glimpses, and then, boom, she has her own. I don't know, and she might have a bigger part to play in Captain Marvel if she's in it, however they work that. But I think for a standalone, for us to see us, like, moviegoers, to see a character that we haven't seen on the big screen before, makes sense. And I think it's a good move. It's a good move on their part, show them something different.
Nice. Now, what do you think about video game movie adaptations? Because I know with a lot of them, they just can't hit the mark. It's very rare that they can hit the mark to be as good as the movie, because they're trying to expand it. Because sometimes the movie's only like 2 hours long, and they want to throw in extra things in there. What do you think about that? About movie video game adaptations?
I feel like I'm watching a very expensive fan-made movie. I don't know. It just doesn't... Usually it seems just forced, like what you said, it's too long to take, usually, because usually these plots are very simple.
Yeah, I mean, they try to follow the film if they can.
Right, but I don't know. I'm not for or against. I just see it, and sometimes some are better than others.
Exactly, yeah.
But that's with anything.
Personally, in my opinion, I like it when it actually goes on to more of a side story instead of following the film. Because, I mean, you just watch the film. I mean, you're going to play through the film and pretty much go on a linear mission where you know where it's going to end. I like games that are in the same universe, maybe even play the same characters, but are more like, this is what happened in between, or this is what happened on the side, or different characters. I had a podcast that I was talking about this game called Telltale's Walking Dead, where it doesn't follow really any of the main characters, just these side characters, and still was so compelling. It was more compelling than that season of The Walking Dead, which was, you know, it was good. I wouldn't say it was the best, but the game just blew everything away, and there's my cat trying to get in. And there she did. She got in.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We have a special guest.
Yes, if my cat pops in front of the camera, that's not my fault. But yeah, I just, you know, I like that type of you know, gameplay. There are other games that, you know, based on movie franchises that try to go more for the kind of comic book form, like the Hulk's Ultimate Destruction, where it's just more of like a sandbox game where you can go anywhere and destroy pretty much everything.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's more like, you know, it's like GTA, but it's just like a dubbed down version where you can take cars and make boxing gloves out of them. But that's actually where they got the whole concept for the second Incredible Hulk movie, is the whole from the video game. So that's the type of thing I like about comic book, movie, video game adaptations.
Yeah, I agree. You get to see things that maybe won't work in one media but work in another.
Exactly.
You get to try it out. You know, people love the characters, and if they are done well, whatever you put them in, whatever type of situation you put them in, you'll get something that is enjoyable and fun. Nice.
Nice. And do you have any favorite music that you listen to, like on the way to work, or just in general, like on the way to a convention?
Ooh. You know what? No one has ever asked me the music question before.
Okay.
This is like, new question. I love a lot of 80s. New wave, synth pop is very good. 90s alt and things that are definitely not on the radio.
Sort of more like indie, sort of underground grunge or anything else like that?
Not really in that direction, but I was with the group of kids in black sitting in the back of the class in high school. So yeah, no, I like it's anything. It has to stand out for me. So it's got to either make me move in my own way, or lyrics need to be there. I need something. I can't listen to some repetitive and awful and top 40 nonsense.
So nothing like current age that you can really see yourself listening to over and over again. I've had some friends that actually have been stuck on some things that are just...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a friend that was like listening to this song, and she's like, "Oh, this is incredible. Have you heard this song?" And she had no idea it was an artist that she really doesn't care for. And it ended up being Taylor Swift.
Oh, wait, yeah, no, none of that.
Well, I'll have to admit, I am a Taylor Swift fan, so yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
No, I don't knock people for whatever you like.
Yeah.
Believe me, if you want to get down to some intense polka, you do it. It's not for me.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I think for modern artists, the only modern artist that I've really gotten into was Florence and the Machine.
Oh, I love her. She's incredible.
I like her. So she's on my good list. And the rest are few and far between. But I love a lot of 60s and 70s, all the psychedelic rock, garage. What else? The jingles from your cat.
The jingle, my cat, yes, know where she is.
She's ready for the holidays.
Yes. Well,
she's
ready for the summer, too. Her name is Elsa.
Very nice. So yeah, those would be be the top. And then the occasional Disney song that comes in that I can belt out. I have a wide variety of music that is on my iPod, so you never know what you're going to get.
Nice, nice. All right, so let's see. Oh, I really wanted to talk to you about. Let's see. Let's see. Technically, I wouldn't say race shaming, but there is race shaming and other types of shaming in cosplay.
Slut shaming.
Well, slut shaming. Well, there's so many different shamings. I mean, I still see it today. I was on Facebook today, and there was it again with one of my other friends. What are your thoughts on that matter? Because I actually have talked to other cosplayers about this as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't even want to say a hot button issue because it's common sense. Everyone's going to sit up on camera and say shaming of any kind is wrong, but it still happens.
It does.
So the reality of it is, you need to be doing what you love for the right reason to really enjoy what you do, and you're going to be faced with criticism no matter what. If you think you look good or not. This is very having a very serious conversation, and the cat is.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm distracted by my cat, but no, I'm listening.
Distracted. Yeah, no, it is what it is because it's nothing new. You know, it's like, okay, these things happen. We just have to deal with them as a community and not be ridiculous. Don't perpetuate things online. Everyone online, everyone who you see on the internet is an actual person.
Yeah, they are. They're not robots.
They're not. And here's the thing. They have Google, too. They can find out. And there are retaliation stories that I've heard, too. And I can't say that I'm necessarily... I won't condemn or condone, but I'm like, I'll just be quiet on this on this one because sometimes people get what's coming to them.
Well, I mean, you've been caught in that situation, too, before. And, right?
No, that was a little bit different because that was from an outside.
Oh, I'm not going to actually say what happened, but
I'm
just saying that.
Definitely.
No, and I have so many other friends that have been caught in different situations, whether it's, oh, you're the wrong race, or you're the wrong, weight size, or you're too skinny, you're too fat, you're too small, you're too big, and unfortunately. I wouldn't say there are some cosplayers, they call them quote-unquote elitist cosplayers, that will do the shaming so much to a certain cosplayer that's just coming into the cosplay world that I have heard stories, and I've had friends that have completely stopped cosplaying. They went to their first convention and decided to stop doing it after that because they don't know how to deal with it.
And those are issues, I mean, that's very personal to that person. If they have one redeeming story to tell over the one bad one, it would make a difference, I think. So having friends that have your back and having a community that is behind you helps everything. And I think it's different depending on where the criticism is coming from. In my situation, what you were talking about, that was a fluke. Honestly, I don't even consider that as a bad a bad experience because they weren't costumers, they weren't people in the convention scene at all. They were just noisy.
Yeah, personally, in my opinion, I had no right to do that.
No,
it was so out there that
it was funny almost.
It wasn't funny. I actually felt bad for you, and I feel I feel bad for a lot of my friends that are shamed in that way, and especially when it's made extremely public online and it's our way of communicating has changed, from 10 years ago.
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Well, I mean, Facebook literally only started up like 8-10 years ago, and it's just changed how we communicate and how we troll. What they call the new word these days is trolling the internet, just to get
kids and you're trolling.
Yeah, well, and then just to get a reaction out of a person by saying something completely off topic or that is very offensive, or just to hurt the person,
right? Because
they want to see how's that person going to react and how is everybody else on that person's page going to react to that comment.
Yeah, and I had everyone was in kind of like the same position. It was just kind of like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. This is stupid. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I roll with the punches. I wasn't like, it was more just annoying.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people deal with things directly that are much worse, and they're actually, you know, more of a direct threat than noisy people online.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
when it becomes like that, that's just wrong. When it just becomes, it's
assault. You know, yeah. you can press charges over things like that. And,
well, I've had friends that's gone like almost like near death threats.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, well, what's going on here? I mean, we're doing this for fun. We're all grown ups. Most of us are. Some of us
doing the trolling.
Some of us act it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I just feel that it just gets out of hand sometimes. I mean, we hear all this drama like that in this community. We're almost like a family. You know, a lot of us know each other. Mm-hmm. And when something bad happens in our community, or especially the cosplay community, most of us feel it. Most of us get hit by it because we knew one person that knows that person, or we actually knew that person that happened. Recently, we had 2 deaths that happened in the cosplay community.
Hi.
And, you know, I've only met them a couple times, but yeah, you know, I wasn't exactly friends with them, but I did talk with them. I did, you know, see them. So, you know, having that happen also, you know, is a big thing that happened in our community. We're all connected, pretty much, whether we even know each other or not.
Right.
So, yeah, I just feel that it just gets out of hand, and people really need to wake up and go, yeah, what you say online does matter. When you post it there, it's there forever. Even when you delete it, it's still there forever.
As long as they read it, it's there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's, we can spin our wheels about it all we want. It's just action. Do something about it. And if you see somebody else doing it, don't comment. Don't laugh. Don't agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes staying silent is also agreeing.
Mm-hmm.
So just be sensible. Be an adult.
Exactly.
Don't be a moron.
And most of us are, and that's the thing, is the people that are doing it are adults, and you're going, you really are showing your age, you know, not just about your adult, but about your maturity.
Yeah, not even that, it's just the type of person you are. If you're a person without class or without a heart, it's evident, and it's like, okay, that's fine, you can be heartless and you can be that, but you have no place in this community, and you will get pushed out.
Exactly.
People that make the most noise, they don't even stick around that long anyway, so I'm not too concerned. There are too many other good things that are going on, and you'll hear one bad thing and 100 good things. You'll remember the one bad thing.
Exactly.
Turn your eye to that majority of positive things, and keep going.
Yep. Now I am going to check my camera for a second.
Check that camera.
Check that camera. Well, I got less than 1 minute. I keep going to that point.
Yeah, your timing is on point.
Yeah, I know.